Probably the biggest influence, I do a lot of BMX riding. My buddy TJ Lavin, you know, we're living together out in Vegas. And I learned, I mean, most of my tricks you see I do, you know, it has a BMX influence in it, and that's a big part of my cross training and my riding is BMX.
What's your worst ever injury been?
A few years back, broke both of my femurs in 6 places, compounded my bone, broke my shin, broke my wrist, hit a tractor over a jump, and put me down, almost died. But still here, still kicking.
Yeah, the cliffhanger, right out all the way back.
Fear is riding, fear is everything. I mean, fear is what keeps you going. That's where you get that, you know, that kick from. I mean, fear slows you down. It also elevates what you do. You just got to know how to use that fear. That's what it's all about. It's just that rush you get. There's no way explaining it. I mean, I raced for 20 years and I didn't get it racing, and I got it jumping. So that's why I'm sticking with jumping.
Next week on Planet X, all the highlights from the freestyle motocross finals at the Extreme Games. Skydivers get in some low-flying stunts. And street luge guru Waldo Autry slides in for an X-ray. But right today on Planet X, skydivers see how low they can go. Street luge guru Waldo Autry slides in for an X-ray. We get twisted with Alakazam and find out what happens offshore. To get things going, we head to the Extreme Games to check out the motocross freestyle jump competition. The judging criteria is simple. Go big, style it up, and get the crowd on your side. Paul Molina was there to give us the dirt on what went up and who went down.
The motocross freestyle jump course was taking no prisoners, with several riders injuring themselves during practice. Last year's Extreme Games gold medalist Troy Carroll was one of them, going down hard right in the line of fire. The crash left Troy with 2 broken ribs, ending any chance he had of retaining his title. The competition final was held under lights with a revved-up crowd waiting for some world-class freestyle action. The 6-man field had to be hard for the final 3 shootout, so the competition was always going to be tight. The first man out was Lee Harriman, and he knew that if he was going to make it through to the final, he had to make an impression.
How are the kickers tonight?
Yeah, really good. A mate watched American Vid and told me to do some new tricks, and I tried them and pulled them off, so I'm stoked.
That was grabbing the front of the mudguard for one.
Yeah, and no foot can't go into heel clicker too.
Knowing it wasn't going to be an easy ride to get into the finals, Adam Cini rose to the occasion, making sure the judges knew he was out there to take care of business.
You're one of the young guns here today?
I think I'm actually second youngest to Robbie Marshall, but yeah, I'm pretty young.
Do you have a favourite jump out there?
It's probably a Superman C-grab, which I've been doing lately. But there's a lot of people doing it lately, so it's getting harder.
Another young charger making a name for himself was 15-year-old Robbie Marshall. Riding a lighter 125, he made sure that less power did not mean less airtime.
bit of a stack earlier on today. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, you know, my shoulder's really hurting and my finger on my throttle hand and my knee and stuff. And I had a little bit of concussion earlier, but, you know, that's all great now.
Stepping into his brother's place, Quinton Carroll took full advantage of his chance to get out there and have a go on the freestyle course. Coming off the back of a good Supercross season, he showed he could flare it out with the best of them.
How long have you been into these big air jumps?
This is my first actual extreme games. Yeah, I've done a few things before, like just around home and at Supercrosses and that, but yeah, this is my first X Games, so I'm loving it.
Chris Thompson was one of the many that pushed it too far during practice, but that didn't seem to slow him down when it came time to compete.
Check out the inspection of the Super. Insane shin scraper.
How are you, Chris?
Yeah, not too bad, Tim.
You had a pretty bad stack the other day. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I came off over the big jump over there and hit my arm on a piece of glass or a rock or something and had to get 7 stitches in it.
The man everyone was out there to see was the last man out. Making a name for himself around the world in the crusty videos, Carey Hart had a big reputation to live up to, and that didn't seem to be a problem.
How are you, Kerry? A little bit sore, bro?
Yeah, I've had a long year. I got hurt about a month ago. I compressed my back pretty bad, and just need a little time off, and this is my last one for the year, so I'm here to just hang it out and go for it.
Just you in person hanging out with all of these young moto kids out here is just absolutely magnificent for them and lifting their spirit and their game as well.
Yeah, I mean, these guys here are super cool. I'm having a blast riding with them. I mean, it's been nothing but fun while I've been here. I've met a lot of really cool cats, and I'm stoked I came. I mean, this has been one of the funnest concerts I've done all year.
When the judges had finished putting pen to paper, it was the two youngsters, Adam Sini and Robbie Marshall, up against the legend Carey Hart in the final 3 shootout. The motocross freestyle competition was definitely a major draw card, with the 90-foot jump giving all of the riders a chance to get some major airtime. Robbie Marshall, Adam Sini and Carey Hart had made it into the last final 3 shootout of the Extreme Games, and it was time to put on a show.
Going to get back into it and show them what's going on?
Yeah, for sure, you know, I'm going to go big tonight and it's going to be great, so much fun.
I think because there's a few people dropped out, everyone's feeling the urge of getting a top 3 podium, so it's definitely gotten harder, not easier.
I'm sure all the guys out there would have liked to have seen you bust some moves tonight.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad I'm not here in full strength, but I mean, I guess it's better making a show than no show at all, so I'm here, I'm doing it.
Robbie Marshall was the first out of the gates. The youngest of 2 teenagers, he knew that he had to give it everything he had for a shot at the gold. And it didn't take long to get a crowd reaction. With the youngster throwing down a solid run to start the finals, the 2 remaining competitors knew they had their work cut out for them if they were going to cut down this Queenslander. Adam Sini knew it was going to be a hard task to impress the judges after Robbie had finished. The only way he was going to do that was to hold it out wide, and that's exactly what he did. With the Queensland crowd right behind him, Adam put in an amazing performance under pressure. The two Aussie teen sensations had definitely set the high mark for Kerry to reach. Kerry Hart had been carrying an injury all weekend. Never one to hold back when he gets on his bike. He was about to show the rest of the field what he had left in his bag of tricks. With that amazing double-handed Superman sea grab, it ended up turning into the Kerry Hart show, and no one wanted it to finish. And why would they, with Kerry Hart throwing together some of the best combinations we'd seen from him all weekend? Kerry Hart was never going to be outdone, consistently landing his signature trick, the heart attack. And he took home the gold, with Robbie Marshall grabbing his second silver of the comp and Adam Sini in third place.
Are you ready for this? Planet X goes into orbit with freestyle motocross from the Extreme Games. We find out what's up with the Max team. Mountain boards take off in Australia. Extreme Games vert skaters tell us how it was at the top level of competition.
Because you're thinking so quickly, constantly, you know, perpetually.
Pretty stoked to nail a few 540s. Get into flipping the board a bit, it's good fun. It's technical, new moves, I like it.
And we go toe-to-toe with Slay. Motocross is one of the most spectacular sports to be given the extreme label. Freestyle jump competitions have been developed by riders to give the sport a new dimension. The criteria is simple. Go big, style it up, and get the crowd on your side. Paul Molina was there to give us the dirt on the Extreme Games Motocross Freestyle Final.
The Extreme Games motocross course had the competitors champing at the bit to get out there and give it a go. And during practice, nothing was held back. Some pushed it to the limits and beyond, this fall sending Chris Thompson off to the hospital. The competition was held under lights with more than an enthusiastic crowd there to amp up the Moto Boys. Young gun Adam Sini was the first of 5 semi-finalists to take to the night sky. Just back from injury, Adam was holding nothing back, busting out the big tricks he knew the crowd had come to see.
You got a favourite jump out there?
It's definitely one going straight across that way, where I've been pulling the Superman sea grabs. And I'm just having a lot of fun, and the competition's really great.
Is that your favourite jump?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've only learned how to do that 2 days ago, because I've had a dislocated wrist and haven't had much time on the bike. But each jump I go out there, I'm getting a lot better.
Lee Harriman tried a different tactic to get the crowd revved up, putting his own spin on the motocross freestyle jumping.
Mate, that outfit, I've got to say, is just Bobby Dazzler. You're setting a new trend in moto.
Oh, look, I got a mate up home that's into all this gear, so he said, why not wear it?
What do you think of the crowd out there?
The crowd's good. I love it. They're getting into it.
You got a favourite jump?
Yeah, I like the no-footed saran wrap. Put both feet through here and then let one hand off and bring it back around.
Ever the showman and defending gold medalist Troy Carroll showed he was not one to be outdone. Merry Christmas, Lee Harriman, take that. Then it was time for Santa to deliver the goods, and he did. He started with a huge shin scraper, followed up by his favourite trick, the double can-can, and then straight into a lazy boy. He finished his semi-final effort, tweaking it out to the side.
I've given up for like 7 months this year, and I haven't done much training or done any jumping whatsoever. And like, yeah, I only got back into it about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and like, I thought, well, I'll do some training for the X Games.
US freestyle legend Vegas boy Kerry Hart was out next, taking time to set up for his signature trick. But first, the saran wrap. He knew he had his work cut out for him if he was going to bring the gold back to Vegas. So it was time to pull out his signature move, the heart attack.
What do you think of our local talent out here?
It's good. I mean, the guys are riding super good. It's fun. It's really laid back, you know, no pressure. Just come out, have fun, and throw some tricks out, and make all these people happy. I'm just here having fun. I'm having a blast. I'm more stoked watching these guys ride than actually riding myself, you know. It's cool, you know, in a different environment. Seeing guys are really pumped on freestyle, so I'm having a blast.
The last rider in the semi-final was 15-year-old Robbie Marshall. He had nothing to lose and showed that with the courage of youth, anything is possible. The Queenslander took 4th place last year, and in 1999, he was looking for his 125 to carry him onto the podium. And with tricks like that lazy boy and his huge Superman seat grab, Robbie's dreams of mixing it with the big guns were becoming reality.
What do you think of the kickers out there today?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They were just a good size. I just had fun out there, and it was great just going out there, jumping the jumps and pulling out some big moves.
What's it like being out there amongst those other boys that are just pushing you?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot different. I race as well, and it's just so much different. Just older people competing against, like, all different ages. But, no, they all went real big, and it was hard to compete against, but it turned out all right.
The judges had a hard time splitting the field, but when the dust settled, it was Robbie Marshall, Troy Carroll, and Kerry Hart going through to the final 3 shootout. The Motocross Freestyle Final was set to be an epic event. Troy Carroll was in line for his 3rd gold medal. Kerry Hart was looking to take the crown offshore, while young gun Robbie Marshall was out to prove he belongs with the big boys. Whatever the result, this was going to be a Motocross Freestyle at its best. The first man out was last year's reigning Extreme Games champion, Troy Carroll, and he was always going to be hard to beat with the Queensland crowd getting right behind their local hero. Troy started well with a host of solid tricks. However, it took him a couple of attempts to get the Superman seat grab and still not quite getting the full extension. He finished strong, though, with a triple heel clicker and his favourite trick, the double can-can. But was it going to be enough to secure his 3rd gold medal in as many years here at the Summer Extreme Games?
The crowd was absolutely going off tonight. Does that pump you guys up and make you want to go bigger and bust bigger moves and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it wasn't until the last run, like, I done the Superman seat grab, you know. If it wasn't for the crowd just cheering me on, I would never have done it, you know. Like, that's what it takes for me to get that big adrenaline rush. So I get more of an adrenaline rush out of them yelling at me than what I do actually doing the jumps.
Having already proved to the world he is a freestyle jump master, Kerry Hart set out to give the crowd some thrills at his expense. a legend on the US pro circuit and one of the stars of the Krusty Demons of Dirt videos, Carey Hart came to Australia with a bag of unseen tricks. It took a couple of attempts to hit his signature move, but even an injured back wasn't going to stop the crowd from witnessing the heart attack.
So tell me about that handstand from the handlebars that you do out there. Is that your favourite trick? It looks pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it's a trick I started doing a few months ago. It's called the heart attack. It's kind of my signature trick. It's not my most favorite because that's the reason why I'm limping around, because it just puts a wrenching on my back. But it's my signature trick. I'm doing that. I'm doing double-handed Supermans, double-handed grabs, and just, trying to make new stuff, trying to elevate the sport.
You guys were just pushing each other to the utmost limit out there.
I got a lot of respect for the Australian riders. They're kind of in a position where they don't get to see what's going on, too recent, and they've really seemed to adapt really quick. They're riding super good, and I'm stoked. I had a blast. These guys are all really cool, really nice guys, and I made a bunch of new friends while I'm here.
The rookie, Robbie Marshall, had a pretty big act to follow once the two big names had finished, sending the crowd into a frenzy. But that wasn't going to stop him giving it everything he had. The kid was up there to give the motocross fans one more show. With a host of solid tricks like this lazy boy, it was looking like the 15-year-old Robbie Marshall may be about to upset a couple of the big guns.
Did you have a favourite jump out there?
Yeah, my favourite jump was the big one coming back. I felt I was most comfortable over that to pull on my big tricks, and it was great. I've been practicing the Superman seat grab now for the last couple of weeks, and cliffhangers, they'd have to be my most favourite tricks, and yeah, I just get off on doing them ones, they're great.
When the competition was over, the judges had an easy pick for first, but second and third were hard to split. After the points had been counted, it was the American Carey Hart with the gold, the new kid on the block, Robbie Marshall, taking home the silver, and the consistent Troy Carroll getting the bronze.
When I start, don't disturb me. When I get your mind thirsty. When I rock, it's something to see. Something to see, something to see. When I start, don't disturb me. When I get your mind thirsty. When I rock, it's something to see. Something to see, something to see.
The hottest. Each year, Hardcore Enterprises put on a giant party at their Melbourne headquarters. The 900 Degrees Party is held to give back to the community, but has supported skateboarding and streetwear over the years. And this year, double as a launch for its new label, M111. No expenses spared to make it an amazing event. And this year, a freestyle motocross jump course was built, just for the crowd entertainment.
This one.
2 years ago, Split showed an interest in the motocross environment here. So last year, Steve Douglas kind of pulled me aside and said, we want to build a track out there. And at the first I was like, oh, okay, how are we going to do this? But here it is now. Field of Dreams, he calls it. Build it and they will come. It's basically a freestyle, motocross jump circuit. We hope to hold a few more kind of demos and photo shoots here with it. In some ways, freestyle motocross is for a bloke that doesn't have the money to go and race, but might just have that ability to, you know, really whip something out or pull something out, you know, that's half exciting, and he might do it in some paddock down the back of, you know, nowhere land. To hold something like this, we've brought riders into it that aren't big names, as well as having riders that have got a name in the sport. So, you know, that's really what we wanted to do is, you know, kind of introduce, I suppose, a different environment of people coming from more the surf, skate and the snowboard environment, you know, and showing them, like, the excitement and, you know, where it's at, really, you know. I think the hardest thing on a dirt bike or hitting like the big gap jumps is pretty well just finding that gear.
Off the up ramp, you know if you're going to make it, you feel good. Just going through the air, like no wind, the bike feels nice.
Once you're up there, you're a bit concerned of where you're going to land, whether you're going to drop short a bit or whether you're going to go a bit far, but you know, you get sort of the technique and everything right, you tend to come all right, and you're sort of thinking in the air, you're just trying to think, well, I hope I'll make it, I suppose.
I just want to keep trying stuff to get better and better, and like, so you never know how far you can go until you try. You've just got to keep pushing and pushing and do your best.
It's really up to the imagination, isn't it? Like, nowadays they've gone sort of further than they ever before. Probably, you know, say 5 to 10 years ago, you know, jump size that we're doing today would have been sort of out of the question, I suppose. Nowadays, obviously the machinery's better, jumps are getting bigger, and probably the fans are getting more thrills, I suppose.
But now, like, we get into the Superman sea grabs and Indian airs, like, we're just doing, like, there's this ludicrous stuff that's just coming out, and, like, stuff that I don't even want to attempt, but I know I've got to keep up, like, the reputation I've got for jumping. Most of our tricks come from BMX riders. We watch, like, the BMX guys go around and they just pull some sick air and you're just going, oh my God, you know, how am I going to do that in a motocross bike? And you try to work it out to, like, putting it together like as a motocross jump.
Going off the up ramp, you're thinking, oh, am I going to make it? Like, you're feeling nice, and then in the air, everything's flowing really well, and then when you land, you just think, yeah, that was a good jump.
Freestyle, I think, is where, like, Australian motorcycles is going a lot, like, towards. It's taken off faster than, like, any other sport. Like, it's really getting up there. In typical days, I try to get myself out of bed by about 10 o'clock. Go do a bit of training, like, I like to go for a swim in the morning. Then, yeah, I normally just ride all afternoon, like ride my bike all afternoon. Favourite trick at the moment has to be the Superman sea grab. I'm starting to do that pretty good at the moment, and yeah, I'm just hoping I can get better at them. I wake up every day and I think to myself, okay, what can I do today? It's going to be crazy, it's going to put my life and all that sort of thing. I've jumped jumps like 140, 150 foot through the days, and yeah, I got scars all over myself. I got like this big one on my thumb here, which I got 7 screws and a plate. I've broken legs, arms, back, neck. Yeah, I've missed a lot of jumps. I've had a lot of times where I've been laying there going, oh, what did I do wrong then? And I've missed a lot. Freestyle motocross has only kind of basically been in Australia for 12 months. and the amount of money that's been poured into it so far is just like amazing, you know. So like next couple of years it should be good. Extreme to me is probably anyone who goes out there and like puts like their body on the line, like puts something on the line to do what they want to do just to get a buzz out, you know, because like it's what I do every day. I go out there, I jump like 120-foot jumps like all day long, you know, just to get that adrenaline rush. And guys that can go out there and do that, like I think that's extreme.